former Navy lieutenant arrives at Oceana, Virginia to visit the Atlantic Fleet. Only now, he comes not as a naval officer, but as the 35th President of the United States and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. The President's party first visits headquarters of the Supreme Allied Commander, Atlantic, Admiral Robert L. Dennison. Here, President Kennedy meets officers of the NATO nations who share in the security of the vital Atlantic Sea frontiers. On this, his first official visit to the fleet, President Kennedy is accompanied by the Vice President, Lyndon Johnson. Over the next 24 hours, the presidential party, members of Congress, and ambassadors and diplomatic guests from 56 nations will witness at sea and ashore the operations of the men, ships, and planes of the Navy. Nerve center of the Atlantic NATO Command is Operations Control Center. Here, in the event of war, would come the orders sending into action the seagoing forces of 14 nations as one Navy.
President of the United States.
Admiral, Captain, gentlemen, I want to express on behalf of the members of the Congress, the ambassadors from many countries, on behalf of myself, I think the people of the United States, great appreciation to you, both of your efforts today, your efforts on other days and nights, in spring and in winter and in summer. The United States Navy helps secure the freedom of countries thousands of miles away, ships which sail hundreds of miles from coasts to far-off places, preserve the freedom of those countries. And therefore, as a former member of the United States Navy, and now as President, I want to express to you our heartfelt appreciation. I hope you realize the contribution that you're making, not only to the preservation of the peace, but the preservation of the freedom of this country, and the over 50 countries which are allied with us, and others which, while not allied, benefit from our strength. What you have shown us today, the ships, the techniques, and most of all, your own skill and courage, makes all of us return to the Capitol with a good deal more confidence and hope. I'm very grateful to you. I want to express my personal thanks to all of you.
Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Here, hard-hitting, battle-ready units armed with the latest weapons are prepared to go into combat at any level of the wide spectrum of nuclear or limited warfare. Nearby, at Onslow Beach, the president is joined by the Shah of Iran in the United States on a state visit. The president now leaves for Bogue Field, where he and his guests will inspect a new Marine Corps development, the Short Airfield, for tactical support. Equipment similar to carrier catapults and arresting gear is used to handle Marine aircraft engaged in support of the ground forces. This prefabricated short airstrip can be built in very little time. Turboprop transports can airlift tons of supplies into and out of such airstrips. Thus, after participating in 24 hours of continuous fleet operations, President Kennedy leaves for Washington and the affairs of state.